Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim-flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Everybody, there we are. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition, season ending. I was going to say season ending. I wish. Week ending edition of the Lunchbox from 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park. And look who's back in the flesh.
I'm feeling good, man. I was
Jeff,
out here Wednesday.
Forest.
I was out here Wednesday.
I know that, but I'm saying this is your return to
the
your
track.
stomping grounds, the place where I guess that gets the blood pumping and the wallet emptied and hopes and dreams go to die right about there at the 16th hole.
He's got to be careful of the blood pumping at this time.
You know, what's funny is I can't even begin to tell you all the experiences I've had here. I know Tony, shares many of the same things where you were doing live TV on races. I got my start at WIOD here by arbitrary circumstance, courtesy of the fact that you had Hank Goldberg. He was doing a radio show, so I was asked to be a part of that.
Yep.
Even though I didn't work at the station, I was just doing independent stuff on my own then. And Hank had to go and do something for your channel.
Yeah, for us.
So when he left, I took over the MCing job.
I said, who the hell's at Gulfstream?
Yeah.
Oh, I got this young kid, Jeff DeForest.
So I'm working with the program director, and the guy liked my work, and I ended up that kind of launched my career. I used to live around the corner from Gulfstream when my son was an infant, so that was very convenient. I would leave him and say, "Hey, Jess, you can take care of yourself." Right? He was like 6 months old. Come over here and make a few bets, and so many tremendous experiences. So I love being here, Mike Mayo. To answer your question, yes.
Well, in fine Hank Goldberg tradition, I'm eating.
You're eating
while
on
we're
air.
doing the
wait
show.
at all.
Yeah,
You know
but
there's a
you're
show going on.
You're not being Hank Goldberg because you're not complaining about the food, even though it's brilliant.
Hey, stupid.
Yeah.
I said I wanted I wanted a Greek salad. A Greek salad. This ain't a Greek salad. This is
Too much dressing. I said light dressing.
He
Hank was
wasn't
great.
that complaining.
No,
Hank?
On air, he was.
He was a
yes.
gentle
Off
giant.
air,
Well,
he
we
was
used to do
a
the three
great
live
dude.
Jews at Calder Race Course. This was my favorite thing with Hank. It was Hank, Ed Kaplan, and me. And we call this the Three Live Jews. Of course, Hank didn't necessarily embrace that title of the show. And
we got three live Jews, or maybe 2.5 live ones. I feel half dead today. But
they would literally bring Hank pheasant under glass, right? And the guy would go like this, and Hank would go,
What's that? A pigeon?
like, Hank, that's like something not even on the menu.
I can't imagine Eddie Kaplan ate much of anything because he seems rail thin, and he doesn't seem like a guy when he goes to the track wants any distractions, like
Zero.
even
No.
a fork and a knife or a hot dog.
He doesn't want to hear your stupid jokes. He doesn't want to hear your opinion about the race. And
He wants his own opinion at all times.
well, and he was
Eddie
great
Kaplan.
because extremely disciplined. I mean, the most disciplined gambler I've ever seen was Eddie K.
We're inside baseball here, but Eddie Kaplan, longtime sports talk guy,
Brilliant
overnight guy.
Great guy.
Love him.
Brilliant
He's still around, and I'd love to get him on a lunchbox here at the track.
How old is he?
Well, he probably wouldn't eat. He was a couple of years older than you and I, so he's got to be
Pushing 80?
no, not that high. I would say 74, maybe
Well,
75.
I credit the man for giving me the most sage advice at a racetrack I've ever received. Unfortunately, I don't always follow it, but his line was bet a little to win a lot.
Yeah.
And sure enough, most of my scores in life, most of my biggest scores have been $30 bets or below. Not these $100 cross or, crushing a double for $50. It's like a pick five. At one time, I hit a huge $13,000 pick five for an $8 ticket.
Nice.
So Eddie, I always hear Eddie in my head where, like, if I'm getting too involved, just bet a little to win a lot.
Well,
So-
and he wouldn't change. He wasn't like me where you're psychotically betting every race. I mean, it's 3 minutes to post here, and I got a Woody just thinking about it. Should I back wheel the one? No, he would just sit, and I used to be with him in Vegas a lot, and he would sit in the sports book all day. He would bet his one. This was when pick fives weren't really in vogue, but like pick threes had just come around, and he would bet his allotment of money on the pick three, and if he lost, that was it. He was out. He wouldn't do anything else.
And that's why the man probably still has a house and a home.
Lifetime ahead.
And a bank
He's
account.
the
And a
one
bank
guy I
account.
know who's ahead lifetime that well, maybe the professor, but
Yeah.
he's definitely ahead lifetime, this guy.
Oh man! So hey, we're here with Tony Segreto as usual on a Friday. Mike Lubie Lubitz. We've got a long holiday weekend coming up, President's Day. I've got a lot of eating ahead. I have eating last night. But before we get into any of that, Lubie,
Yes.
we've got to do the old war chant.
Oh, yes. Mazel tov, congratulations.
I'm a proud papa. Kvelling is the Yiddish word for
Another
being proud.
daughter joining the FSU family.
My daughter Natalia got the notification yesterday that she has been admitted to the class of
beautiful.
2028.
Not
Welcome.
easy to get into.
Florida
anymore. Yeah.
State University.
She'll join my daughter as an alumnus.
Now she's not committed yet. They have until May 1st to make a decision. She's going to be
Where
doing
else does she want to go?
a tour, going around because she's gotten into UCF in Orlando, USF in Tampa, Florida State, which in her mind was her top choice. But we're gonna, she'll go see all the campuses, vibe, as she says, see how it feels, which one she feels comfortable with.
She's
the
going to end up at
atmosphere.
FSU.
I think
It's
she'll
just far. That's the only thing. But see, to people that
8-hour schlep.
it's not 8 hours, it's 6 or less.
No, it's not.
It is. I
What,
did
if you're
it.
going 95?
No, I did it. Where do you guys
Could
don't
be
live in
without
Miami? You don't live in Miami. Again, I did that trip 3 to 4 times a year.
Okay.
It's not
Did
8
you
hours.
stop to pee, or did you pee in
I
a bottle
stopped
on
to
the
get
way?
gas because one tank doesn't
I could
work.
see Lubie, the type like, we're not stopping. We're
No,
going
I'm not a
straight through."
stopper.
I mean,
You
I've got-
stop to get gas, you get some
Put a
food,
catheter in there on
and
the
then you
trip.
go.
I've
It's not.
driven
It's
up-
about 6 hours.
nothing wrong with a diaper.
I've
We're close
driven
to
up-
it anyway, Tony.
I've driven up 8 times, 9 times a year.
Yeah.
To my daughter.
Yeah.
Every time I've been going there, it takes me 7.5 hours.
Oh,
to
well,
go.
you guys
Yeah.
drive. What are you driving? 60.
He's
As long as you drive
he's a choir
75
boy.
to 80.
He actually pays attention
Again,
to
the
the
speed
speed
limit's
limit.
70. So if you drive 75 to 80, I'm not a 100
Okay.
mile an hour guy.
All right, well-
75 to 80, you can do it in 6 hours, and you get a
You're
routine.
a kid. You're
and,
a young
and
kid.
she's a young kid
my
too.
daughter. My daughter's
I'm
does
sure it took
7
her-
hours, 6 hours.
Exactly. So there
Bottom
you go.
line is, she's ecstatic. I'm happy
And that's
for
where she has her
her.
pick of the litter.
And of course, I had her in the prepaid plan, 4
Good
years
man.
of tuition
That's smart.
already paid for.
Oh,
And
nice.
with
And she
her
has Bright Futures,
straight
too.
A average, she's going to get some more money through Bright
Bright
Futures.
Futures.
So hopefully, I'm off the hook.
Yeah,
My
you're good.
daughter went
for
and-
it's and I hear nothing but great things about the school
It's
now.
great. It's fabulous. And you know what? Years ago, it was easy to get in. Now it's
The
super
average
difficult.
SAT is like 1400.
I know, it's almost
I don't know that it was even easy like 20 years ago when
Yeah,
I saw
No,
it. Yeah.
with all these, again, the prepaid plan kids now, everybody who was born in Florida wants to go to school here.
In Florida, yeah, it's
It's
just worth it.
become much more competitive.
Yeah.
And my daughter, great student, straight A's, but her, standardized test scores weren't quite what, the average is. So that's why she was on the fence, but she had her fingers crossed and, good, strong character. So I think they made the right
I
choice.
think she'll
and
love it.
We're looking forward to it.
If she wants to call my daughter up to get
Yeah,
advice,
I'm already getting all
I
kinds of.
would have her meet Lubie. Yeah, I mean, I know she's.
My
met him,
problem is
but-
I haven't been there in like 10 years, and I used to go every year, multiple times a year, because I saw a lot of people. It's funny for such a, in our eyes, townish area. I have a lot of friends that actually
it's
stayed behind and
calamari.
started their
Look at that.
lives there.
You gotta get into that.
Multiple friends. One actually teaches at FSU.
Well,
Another one works for FSU in the financial aid
it's
department.
funny because I have an ex-neighbor, a woman that used to live across the street from me, who has now
That would be
gone-
a former neighbor, I think. Ex sounds
Did
a
I say
little harsh.
ex-neighbor?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
former neighbor across the street, Martha. She
So I don't know.
she
FSU
had
all
moved
these
to
days.
Tallahassee, came back to South Florida, but I didn't realize she's back in Tallahassee,
people love
as
it.
is her daughter, who is now an FSU professor,
People love it.
and her granddaughter also is a teacher up there. And she already offered me if Natalia needs anything, if she
Yep.
runs into any trouble. It's just
You'll never
nice.
hear from her again.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
I was a good neighbor.
Yeah.
as a father,
Yes.
it's nice to know someone is up there who will keep an eye on her.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if it's
It helps.
just-
The first year can
just
be
that-
interesting.
If she needs something and she just is in a
Sure.
pinch, there's somebody that
There's somebody there to get it.
she knows.
I'm still in touch with a lot of the professor. I was a TA under.
Can you believe he was a professor?
One of the
That's shocking.
one
to
of
me.
the more. He's like
that would be one reason to consider
he's a
UCF.
legend there. He's a legend there. So I keep in
Florida
touch with
State
him
is so
too.
nice.
So she will have friends around if she needs them.
So the thing is, it is now apparently ranked as a top 25 in the nation public
It's
university.
been a top 20 public university for 5 to 6 years straight.
Okay, so it's
Are you in the brochure?
Yeah.
I
You
just,
should
it's my,
be,
I'm
man.
very
Yeah,
proud
no,
of
you're a
FSU.
huge
So like I,
advocate, yeah.
So
I know
even
all the stuff.
elitist self like me, who went to
Yeah.
Tufts, a
Tufts
small
University.
liberal arts college in Boston,
Mr.
and
Big, yeah.
you know, I'm proud of her. I think that was
That's a great
job
Florida
well
State's a
done.
good accomplishment.
So
no
enough,
doubt.
enough
That's
quelling
really cool.
about
Years
that.
ago, they would compare Florida State to Florida,
Yeah.
and it was tougher to get into Florida. Now it's equally as
Very, very difficult to
It's
get
just
into
either
either
way.
school.
And
I think at
UCF's
this
gotten
point, yeah.
difficult too. Florida schools have come up a lot
Yeah.
in the college, the college ranks at least.
Now it's funny because obviously Gainesville, the Gators, very good reputation academically, but as a sports writer, and I don't know if you found this, I always much preferred going to Florida State.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
love covering
Yeah,
Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily love covering Steve Spurrier or any.
Florida was a lot colder, and a lot more impenetrable in terms of.
Yeah.
You didn't feel at home there. Whereas
ever since
They put down
Yeah.
a steel curtain
Yeah.
around the program. So
Charlie
strictly-
Pellegrant was
ever
the football
since
coach when I
ever
used to go
since
there.
the Gator flop.
Yeah.
Ever
Yeah.
since
Oh, you
that
hate
day,
the Gators. Yeah.
So
I hate
I
them.
always, even though as a sports writer I was not rooting for anybody, but I always preferred Florida State. And when I left sports, I was like, I like the Noles.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now, and for some reason, baby mama Michelle also was a Gator hater for whatever reason.
Oh, good.
And so we are very pleased that, she's still waiting to hear from Gainesville. And we don't even care. It's like, it's
No.
okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can
They're
reject it.
weird. They're really
You
weird.
know what you should do? Like a coach that isn't going to get the job with an NFL team, and go ahead and
Just
withdraw
rescind.
your name from consideration.
Well, my daughter still wants to keep all her
Yeah.
options
Yeah,
open,
yeah,
and
good for
UF decision day is next week, February 23rd.
All
So we're not going to rescind
Well, at least
any
she has many
applications.
options, and obviously
are
very
good.
favorable. Yes.
as opposed to us, and our options are dwindling, folks.
I think I only applied to like 2 schools, and fortunately I got into both of them. But other than that,
What was the other one besides Syracuse?
Missouri. My dad went to University of Missouri. He was from Missouri,
Yeah.
so I got in there.
I
without
applied to
any problem.
Missouri. I got into Missouri,
Yeah.
Nebraska, of all places.
These were all supposedly good journalism schools,
Yeah.
even though I didn't really pay much attention to it when I was in
Well, you
school.
went to Syracuse, which is the
Oh,
home
no,
of
great
golden
broadcasting
voices
school.
in broadcasting.
No doubt about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No,
Bob Costas.
I mean, a zillion.
Iron
My
Eagle.
favorite, of course, is Rod Serling.
Hell,
Yeah.
I did not know
He's
that.
up there on the wall. Dick Stockton, of course, went there. Marty Glickman.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I mean, the great Marty Glickman with the high
You know
school
who
game of the
went-
week.
To Tufts, I mean, no athletes of note because it was a Division III school, but some famous alums at Tufts include Hank Azaria of The Simpsons and voiceover fame.
There you
He's
go.
become a big actor.
So you could have been a cartoon writer instead.
And several others, and Tracy Chapman, of course,
Tracy Chapman.
who
She knocked it out of the
Knocked
park.
it out
at
of the
Grammy.
park.
out of the park.
in the Grammys.
Yeah.
And,
Stallone went to Miami.
yeah. So anyway, enough
Gloria
of the college
Stefan
tour.
went to
Let's talk
Miami.
Yeah, all right.
food.
Congratulations to Natalia, man.
And speaking of proud
Congratulations.
FSU Papas, I don't know if Joe
Did
Beja
she
is
tell you
around.
I said hello?
Oh, what?
At
No,
Grandpa's?
you didn't. She did not.
Yeah.
You came in last Saturday
Yeah.
at her new gig, and okay.
I said hello.
Did you
I'm
introduce
Tony
yourself?
I'm Tony Segreto. I am your father's favorite person.
And
Which is not necessarily a good distinction.
did she give you a good, nice, fresh bagel? You got
Yes, she did.
got the good stuff. Okay,
Yeah, she did.
I'm glad she did that.
You
But
know what I noticed about them?
at Grandpa's, they're in the running for Sun Sentinel's best bagel in South Florida. So
Their
everybody
bagels-
go on and
Their
vote for
bagels
them.
are bigger
They're the
than
best.
any other bagel
Bigger
I've
than your
seen.
face.
Now they said
6 ounces. They seem like bigger, but
they do. Now they said to the gentleman before me, "Do you want the big ones or the mini ones?"
they have minis, and I think minis are perfect for that would satisfy any reasonable appetite. But there are people who like the big mama bagels, and they slice them and all that. But yeah, they got options there. But they are in the running. I guess there's 6 finalists now. This Sun Sentinel is doing these best in South Florida of different
Who's
food
in the
groups.
finals?
It's
Now,
all,
do they count Goldberg's and Grandpa's as 2 separate places? 'Cause,
I don't even think Goldberg's
Goldberg's
made the
bagels
final
are great.
cut.
They're
but
great.
they're
Are they
very
good?
similar.
very good. Yeah,
I don't know exactly the methodology.
Similar, Yeah.
But all I know is that there's 6 of them listed. If you go onto the
What about Chesapeake
sunsentinel.com,
Bagels? That's a very
Chesapeake,
good place.
I think, is in there. There's a new one that just opened up in Fort Lauderdale called Bagels and Co. Bagels and
Okay.
Company. It's a chain. Not my cup of tea because they have those like unicorn rainbow bagels. They have all those wacky flavors like bubblegum cream cheese and stuff. It's like it's not traditional. They're in the running. There's a couple of ones up in Coral Springs that made it. I don't know,
Grandpa's for
Bagels
me.
West, but I know I've put my vote in for Grandpa's. 'Cause they
Is there a
definitely
bagel
deserve-
boss here yet? Did that ever happen?
So the Bagel Boss
What
opened
happened
up
with
at the JCC Posnick Center
Okay.
in.
Does that count?
But
I
it's
mean,
just like a little takeout.
yeah.
I don't know where they're coming in from. They might be being shipped in from. I have no idea. There is no brick and mortar of Bagel Boss from Long Island that has a good reputation.
Chesapeake
too.
Bagels actually took over under a different name. That little was a Subway sub shop that was off 95 and Commercial.
Really?
And it was a little tiny
I thought
store.
it's on Andrews. Is it on Andrews? Or?
Yeah, Andrews and Commercial. And yeah, so they took over that under a different name, even though they do have their name on there. But I used to live around the corner from Chesapeake Bagels when they first came on board. Very good. I mean, comparable to Grandpa's and
They do a
Culver's.
decent job. Even
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
Maryland bagel, which the Chesapeake is obviously the Chesapeake Bay,
Yeah,
and
but very good. I mean, and then you can go there and they come out of the oven hot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
Very,
do a
very
decent
good.
job.
Yeah,
it's a
very
good
nice.
bagel.
I like
Yeah.
the Grandpa.
And
bagels.
also is in the running is a chain. It's a Brooklyn Water Bagel.
Oh yeah.
Larry King was an investor, I guess, and they still looking for his money. But
we're gonna have to dig it up now.
South Florida.
but I found it very inconsistent. There's one near me, and sometimes I go in there and I get a great bagel. Sometimes it's just like too dense and doughy and cold and chewy, and so I don't know. I've had consistency issues, but they do have their fans. They're among the finalists in that whole competition. But
So,
anyway, we'll see how
is that a
that brings.
contest?
Oh,
to
but
do?
I was going to bring up Joe Beja. I don't know if he's
as you do, I might have to make a quick bet here. 'cause
Yeah, that's
I
all right.
had
Go
to scope
ahead.
it out.
Joe
Be right
Beja
back.
is also a proud FSU Papa because
Yes.
his
His daughter's there
daughter
too.
goes there. So
Yep.
he said he'll see me at Family
Yeah.
Day. Another proud FSU Papa of current student is Julian Siegel, who owns the Riverside Market, Riverside South, where our friend Tom Tanazzini is set up now Thursday through Saturday down in Fort Lauderdale. But Julian and Lisa Siegel, very
I'm a
successful
I'm a former-
restaurateurs.
No, right here.
Oh yeah, you got your daughter went there,
We
right?
were watching Florida State softball last night.
Good. Did
Don't
she
Yeah,
play
they
on the team?
pounded Stanford.
Yeah.
She was a manager.
Excellent. So, all right. Joe Beja, I don't know if he's in town. He was not here last week. He must have been on vacation after several big weeks. I hear that there's some big races up in Maryland at the tracks that is run by the same ownership up at Laurel tomorrow. I know Dave Joseph
be
is
up
up
there
there,
for
so
that.
he might be up there overseeing some of the food and beverage. So, not sure if he's going to be around, but we still are going to run a contest because that's what
Get
we
it
do
done?
here on Fridays at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. And let me tell you, it's hopping up here.
Yeah, it's
They're
packed.
open every live day
It's
of racing,
big.
and it is prime
really, really hot
peak season.
today.
It is the
It
middle of
is.
February. It is where
Man, they're
everybody,
packed.
the place to be for the horse world and the vacationer world. Beautiful day today. And so let's get to it. We've
get
got a
the contest.
contest.
No, okay. Did we ever give the results? Because you were off on Monday, right?
We did on Tuesday. We
okay.
talked about my friend Ira in Japan, who runs a fantasy sports league, or he's like he started brought the concept of fantasy sports to Japan.
Did anybody get Christine Lee's wrong?
No, everybody got Christine Lee's. Only 2 people got the number 2 horse that was a 10-to-1 shot winner called Beeline, which I should have had because my mom was named B.
Yeah, you should at least have money on that.
And I did not. And there was
Should have
a,
made a beeline in the
there was
windows.
a Riley Mott is a young up-and-coming trainer. I believe she's
Any relation to
Riley.
Bill?
I don't know. I gotta find
I
out.
think you would think so, right? In this
But
game,
how many
same
miles?
last
Yeah.
name.
Riley Matt ran 1-2 in last week's
Oh,
feature,
wow.
a contest race. It was a maiden race. One of them was 10-to-1. One of them was 73-1 that Joanne picked. But
Yeah, wow.
Joanne had the
That's
second
strong.
place.
73-1.
And
Anybody hits a 73-1 shot, they automatically win, whether they have the
well,
tiebreaker
she
or not.
unfortunately
Yeah.
picked San Francisco. So even though she had the second place home, I would have had her in the
I
running.
think she should get consideration
No.
for something. No?
We got to follow the rules, especially for Joanne, because she's a stickler for the rules, right? Or
Yes.
But anyway,
Or
Ira
actually the opposite.
Stevens.
She hates the rules.
Congratulations. He was last week's winner. He had Christian Lees. He had the number 2 horse, and he had the Chiefs winning by 7. So among those who had
Close
the
enough,
winning
yeah.
horse, that was it. He got it. All right, this week's 10 Palms Sunday Brunch giveaway. You're going to email the answer to the restaurant, or in this case, it's a food business, trivia questions, along with your horse selection. It's going to be numbers 1 through 11 for this week's contest race, which is going to be the 11th race. It's a stakes race. And there's also this week, The NBA All-Star Game, I don't know if they still do East-West or they divide it up or they keep choosing new teams every 3 seconds. I'm not
Stephen
doing
A.
that.
Smith versus Pat McAfee.
No, I'm not doing that.
Something like that.
The tiebreaker this week with no more NFL
and they already
football
did it. It happened 2 weeks ago.
is
Marlins baseball.
no, the NBA All-Star Game is
Oh, the
this
NBA
weekend.
All-Star Game. I thought you were talking about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Because he always used to like to do
All-Star
the
Game.
NBA, the Pro
We're
Bowl.
not doing that as a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is a big college basketball matchup tomorrow between number 1 UConn and number 4 Marquette.
Oh, good
That
for
is
you.
a game that's on at 3
That's
p.m.
a real
tomorrow.
variation on the theme here. I mean,
Good for you. You need
What
to
do you
find
want me to
something.
do?
You need to find something.
holy
can't-
Dean Meminger.
I
I mean,
can't-
what are we talking about?
I can't
here,
make
Marquette?
all these little slips.
Yeah.
What's his name? Al McGuire or Paul McGuire? Not Paul.
Al McGuire
Al
was the
McGuire was
legendary
the
coach
coach.
with the
Yeah.
with Marquette.
Didn't Dwayne Wade go to Dwayne?
Wade
Mike
played under
Wade,
Tom
Wade.
Crean.
Big star there.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we've got the defending national champion UConn
Yes,
Huskies,
they
number 1
killed
right now against the
RUM.
number 4 Marquette. What are they? The Marquettes? The
Golden
Rockets?
Eagles.
Golden Eagles.
Did you see the girl? What
Oh, Kayan Clark last night.
Keaton Clark
I didn't see
set
any
the
of this.
record?
Sarney saw it.
You're getting me off track here. I bet Sarni is happy.
Jim,
talking about it.
he has a shrine to Caitlin
Right,
Clark
he adores Kayan
somewhere.
Clark.
Oh
What
my
did she
God.
do last night?
She
She
broke the
scored
all-time
like 100
49
points. Yeah.
Okay.
49.
Well, good for her. Congratulations.
She
It's
broke
quite
the
an
all-time
accomplishment.
women's scoring record.
Yeah.
in college basketball.
That's good.
Although it wasn't the actual all-time record because there was an ancient record that they don't count.
Well, that's funny.
That it was kind of like the Margaret Smith Court thing, where she had more majors than anybody else, but they tended to overlook that because she was in an era where
It was
pros couldn't
segregated
play and there
all
was
that,
restrictions and nobody went to Australia. So
Yeah.
I forget the woman's name, but she had like 1,000 more points than
Oh, really?
either Caitlin Clark or Kelsey Plum, who had the
She's
record
going
before.
after Maravich next.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Whatever you want to know about women's basketball, you just come to Lubie and me. We're experts on
We're
that.
the pros.
Yeah.
And we have Jim Sarney to thank for that. He browbeat us into
Yes.
paying attention to and respecting the women's game. But
But he's obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I feel badly for Jim. I mean, he's obsessed with it at this point.
all right. So if multiple entrants have all 3 elements right, there'll be a tiebreaker drawing on Tuesday's Lunchbox because we're going to be off for the holiday on Monday. It is a federal holiday, and we'd like to adhere to those. And it'll be for Sunday brunch for 2 at 10 Palms at Gulfstream, including buffet, mimosa, tax, and tip. Again, so send the winning answer to the trivia questions, a horse selection number 1 through 11. Again, tomorrow it's the Royal Delta Stakes, the 11th race. Fillies and Mares going a mile and 16th on the main track. Post time scheduled for 5:07 p.m.
Okay.
And again, you send it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by what
Noon
time?
12
on
p.m.
Saturday.
tomorrow. 12 p.m.
Noon
tomorrow.
tomorrow, February
Noon,
17th.
not 12:01.
Yeah.
No, it's literally at 12 because people have done it at like 12:05. So then they do 12:30, then they do 1:15.
His,
No, and-
his mother from heaven could send in an entry at 12:01. He would discount
No,
it.
this
in a
can't-
way.
Just
sorry.
discard it right away.
Sorry. Sorry,
And you
Mama
know
B.
what? It's weird. I guess
Oh,
I don't know
no.
if there's some of these slow, bulky email servers because one came in last week at 1:05 in the morning on Sunday. You
It's
know,
a little
like
late. Yeah.
about 8 hours after the race was won, and it was, of course, it had the wrong horse. So it was actually
Not the
probably
sign
sent-
of a
Rather than
true
not
better.
cheating. Rather than not cheating.
might have got caught up in one of those like draft bins, and
Yeah.
then the person realized it and sent it. But again, that one didn't
All
count.
right, so let's get to the.
Whew, I'm
clues.
exhausted. For this week's contest, we
Yes.
celebrate Black History Month
Yep.
with a black-owned business.
Nice.
All right, number 1, you'll find this.
Licky sticky.
No, stop. Don't give out the answer.
Wow, yeah.
I presume that was wrong. I was hoping.
Those who watch the Lunchbox, this place was featured once upon a time
Okay.
in a Visit Lauderdale edition with Nikki Mohan. Okay, number 1, you'll find this ice cream parlor on Miramar Parkway, not on the shores of Lake Erie, as it is named for its proprietor, and not the city. It's pretty much a dead giveaway for those who follow the local ice cream market.
I was just going to tell you, we need to get back there, by the way.
We do.
That
I
place
love
was
the
freaking
man.
great.
I love all his flavors. Number 2, the Jamaican-born proprietor spent more than 3 decades at famed Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor in Dania, many as the chief ice cream maker there under late owner Monroe Udell.
Yep.
And then he struck out on his own after Monroe's death in 2014 and opened this brick-and-mortar shop in summer of 2020. So it's a little over 3 years
I
now.
don't know
that he's
ice
been
cream
running.
shops.
You don't know it?
This
Okay.
place is freaking great.
Well,
He
the
does a
hint is
really
in the
good job.
first clue there. You'll find the ice cream parlor on Miramar Parkway, not on the shores of Lake Erie, at his name for its proprietor and not the city
Okay.
that is
And he gave it away.
found on Lake Erie. And number 3, the shop features many flavors popular with the local Caribbean community. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? How do you pronounce it, Tony?
Both ways are okay.
I would
Okay,
say
thank you.
Caribbean.
Caribbean. is
Very
good.
diplomatic, this Segredo. Yeah,
I think both
doesn't
ways
matter.
are accepted. Actually,
I
That's
go
one word.
Caribbean on that.
Caribbean.
Okay, so
Caribbean.
it's with the very popular flavors with the local Caribbean community, including soursop, bun and cheese.
I'm still
and-
weird about the grape
and
nuts.
tamarind.
But the grape nut one was the one that the Caribbean people loved, and it wasn't horrible, but it was a little weird.
Grape
The
nuts.
sour sop has got to be awesome.
I haven't tried that. It
Soursop,
sounded
bun and
interesting.
cheese is really good,
Bun
and
and
as
cheese.
well as standard hits such as mint chip, rocky road, and cookie dough. So there you have it. Those are the questions. Send in your answers to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow. Speaking of pronunciations, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
And it was my, Valerie who corrected me because you know how I am a stickler
Oh,
for
no, you're
pronunciation.
bizarre, yeah.
You used to say emeritus, and I said it's emeritus. It actually is emeritus. But I've lately been using the word about little flecks of debris and stuff. I called it detritus. It's actually detritus.
I don't even know the
No,
word.
I had that.
Rhymes with
That's why I have this
Yeah,
pick line here.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, this can't be true, Val. That sounds like a disease. It sounds like something Defo had, or I have to avoid popcorn because of detritus. No, it actually is pronounced detritus.
Detritus.
But I thought all these years I've used the word. I like to write the word. It's a good SAT word. It'll get you into FSU. If you know
I
the
do
meaning.
AP English credits, and I don't know the word at all. I've
But
never
it's
even heard it.
actually pronounced detritus. So
Detritus.
thank you to Val, who actually was a creative writing major.
Andy said it's at the
FIU.
Wendy's by the old station.
I don't know what that is.
There was a Wendy's by our old
Yeah.
radio station.
What
Oh.
else was there? Was
Like
it a
right there-
fried chicken joint?
There was a
too?
Wendy's and a gas station that had fried chicken inside that then
Yeah.
turned into like a Cuban place.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, so the Andy was no, it's not the way.
Well, we have to explore that one day. I was thinking about that. The best gas station food. I know we've discussed it,
Oh,
but
there's a
People mock my in-laws.
gas
Mock
station pizza.
me. My
Is
in-laws mock me. There's one in Griffin
Griffin is
University that's the best
spectacular.
Sicilian
Spectacular.
possibly in South
where's
Florida.
this now?
I just
Have you been to that one? Have you
I've
been
been
to
to that.
Okay.
One. I think it's Griffin, and
I think it's University
near
or Pine Island. It might be
595.
Pine Island.
It's Pine Island.
Griffin and Pine.
It-
I
it's-
lived there,
I've-
guys.
Several people touted it to me. I went in there once, and I was thoroughly unimpressed. with the
Okay, then
pizza.
you have weird standards of saying.
So
I
you
thought it
love
was
it, though.
fantastic.
I mean, this is Mr. Italian here. You think it's good?
So who's better? I
Yeah,
thought it was
it's-
fantastic.
I forgot the
Lubie
name.
loves it. The fact that you don't like it, doesn't,
It doesn't deter any
what
of us.
quantifies you to be a food critic?
Exactly.
The amount of food I eat, of course.
Quantifying
Hey, let's
being
take
the
a
key
break.
there.
Yes, fine.
Joe Beja's on the way. He is in town.
Oh,
And
good.
he
We
says
missed
he
Joe.
will be here about 1:30.
Nice.
So
Beautiful. All right. Well,
let's
it's
before
right
we
there, yeah.
go to the first break, let's talk about our friends. It's a Friday, Tropical Acres. Good time to go in
There
there.
you go. You get
For the
happy hour
weekend.
even for a Friday.
They've survived Valentine's Day, and so have you. And now it's it's going to be a little bit crowded because it is peak season. But you want to give them a call, get your reservations in the book, and they'll take great care of you at Tropical Acres. Call them at 954-989-2500, 989-2500. They're open every day but Sunday, and they have the finest in steaks, chops. They got beautiful rack of lamb. They've got seafood. They've got all these new dishes now. I love the seafood pasta that we had last time. We're going
Yeah,
to be
it
in
was
there
great.
for a visit at the end of the month on Tuesday, February 27th. I can't wait for that.
I
Hang
wanna do
out and
that.
catch up with Jack Studiali and his clan. And they're all about the service and the price and the value. And of course, they also have a butcher shop too on premises. If you want to pick up a couple of great filet mignons already cut and trimmed, throw them on the grill at home. The butcher shop is open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Again, we love Tropical Acres. They've got happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30, even tonight on a Friday. They've got half price wine night Monday and Tuesday. They've got all kinds of great deals like the Loyalty Reward Club card, where you punch them in and you get 12 punched. You get the 13th entree on the house. All these things and more at Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
They still have that dish. What was the one that we got introduced to there that you at first
That's
made
what
a
they said. The
face?
pasta, the seafood
Oh,
pasta.
okay.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
it's like a surf and turf pasta where they have little sliced tenderloin, so it's a little
Yeah.
bit of beef and
Man,
a little
that
bit of
was great.
shrimp in kind of a garlicky sauce.
It's a dish you could create.
It was
Tony.
great.
It
That was
really is.
really
Very,
good.
very nice.
Yeah.
Very good stuff there. And now they have butternut squash ravioli. We're
Let's
going to
try
have to
that.
Squash
investigate
ravioli
that.
is the best.
Yeah,
It
Nice.
is so good.
that's good. We love tropical.
But we have to all go there. I mean, is Tony coming for that luncheon?
That's actually
you're
what
gonna have to
happened.
be
We're
there.
going to
Fitting
invite
for
you.
him.
We're
Yeah,
going to
that's
invite
what's
you for
fitting
that
for Segredo.
Tuesday if you're around, February 27th. Come
Oh,
on.
and let's not forget too. I mean, Tuesday is going to be a spectacular. It's coming Tuesday
It's coming Tuesday.
with the reopening of the Duck House, the soft opening.
Yes.
Well, that's in
Now,
the evening.
are you going to be there?
Yes, of
All right.
course. Do you think I ever pass up a free meal invite?
Well, we haven't
Look at
known
me.
you to. I mean, weight notwithstanding.
Earlier in the
break.
day, it's a double header because earlier in the day we're going to be saying hello and to our friend Andrew Garavuso at the new Sicilian Oven in Cooper City.
Oh, beautiful.
We're going to be doing a show out there on Tuesday, and then me and
Nice.
you are going to be checking out the new Peking Duck House.
Looking forward to
Soft
it. Yeah.
opening, a little bit of a media party on Tuesday night, February 20th, and I think after that it's going to be.
Now, is
open
that
to the
just a
public.
general thing where you show up at 6 and you leave at 9 and they have a bunch of stuff, or you
It's
sit down?
an open house,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's going to
okay.
be like
pass
pass
arounds.
platters and things
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
okay, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
It's
cool,
not
but
a
you can
full
get in,
sit
get out.
down dinner,
Right.
so
That's
you're
cool.
not bound to anything. So
You can get in,
it's
get out.
gonna-
That's cool.
It's going to be fun.
Always
All
had great stuff.
We're
Let's
gonna
take
get
Try
the
the
first.
mapu tofu. you know.
Okay, we'll take our first break. We'll be back with more and Joe Beja on the Lunchbox. Comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. It's Mexican food with innovative twists, margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar, the place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. All right, we're back at the 10 Palms at Gulfstream on the Lunchbox. I just ate a hot jalapeno cherry pepper or something.
It doesn't stop you, though.
My mouth is exploding.
Yeah. Yesterday, you had that entire fried cornbread ball in your...
That was 2 days ago.
Yeah, whatever.
We had a home show. Yeah, but yeah, I stuffed up.
whenever it was. I mean, it was the size of a softball. Like if you had a clincher and you took it out of the box, that's
That's
what
what I
this looked
want.
like. Yeah.
It's like, you remember that scene? Was it Pulp Fiction, the Gimp, or Bring Out the Gimp? Was that
Yes, Defo.
He had that big ball in his mouth. That's like that cornbread ball in my
Yeah.
mouth was like, Bring Out the Gimp.
And he still kept
Kept going. He keeps talking. He keeps
Is that a talent, or is it just disgusting?
No,
or is it?
it's,
Oh, no, it's
uh,
gross.
It's
It's
a
horrendous.
talent,
grotesque,
it's a
yeah,
talent
yeah.
to do it, but it's disgusting
It's
to
a
do it.
it's a
at the same
gross,
time.
disgusting.
Yeah,
I just think it's gross.
The worst is when you're home and you're lapping on some cottage cheese or something and trying to, talk as
But
if you
you
were
know,
doing
I
a
said,
show.
he's losing weight.
Somehow.
Where?
It's the
Yeah.
tapeworm.
Where?
I inserted the tapeworm. Yeah, where he's just.
I'm gonna be mean. I'm just. being
No,
honest.
we don't want to be, weight shaming Mayo.
Where'd you eat
That's
last night? You
not
said
all
you were
right.
eating last night. Where were you last night?
Yeah.
Oh, so do you want to hear my current eating binge tour, or New Orleans is coming up in 2 weeks?
Oh, Jimmy, you have to hear this. You know how you'll make a reservation
Yeah.
when you go to New Orleans or AC?
He's already got
You
6.
made like 4.
Yeah.
I've got 7 meals. I've got 7
And the
meals.
food's great everywhere. You can just eat
I
You
don't
can
make
walk
anywhere.
into
I
any
don't make-
bar anytime.
I
and
don't
get a
make
great-
reservations for breakfast, but I'll make reservations for
You don't-
brunch, lunches, and dinners.
It's
So
New
What about
Orleans.
I've got-
Brennan's?
I don't think I've ever made a
Brennan's.
reservation
No,
there. Never.
you don't need to.
Brennan's is booked up solid for brunch. I couldn't get in there. Now they have a affiliated restaurant called Ralph's on the Park for Ralph Brennan, and it's at Mid City Park. It looks just as good, and I got in there for a Saturday brunch at Ralph's on the Park.
Okay.
And I was explaining to people, you love New Orleans.
I do.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't
I
love New
love
Orleans?
New
Joe
Orleans.
Casale loves New. I dropped Joe Casale's name when I was making a
I get to hear
Oh,
reservation
yeah,
both.
and it worked.
at Brightson's. Well, they had a reservation, but then afterwards I said, "Oh, I haven't been in a long time. I have a good friend who's friends with Frank Brightson, and after I made the reservation for Saturday night. Frank is great, classic chef. Used to work at for Paul Prudhomme. He's coming close to retirement, so I wanted to get into Brightson's because I think this he might be packing it in soon. Classic place. But then the woman said, "Who do you know?" I said, "Joe Casale." He goes, "Oh, we know Joe."
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I
They
didn't
were like,
realize that. Come on in, Joe.
we see him all the time, or he comes to New Orleans a lot. And I goes, "Yeah," and he always raves about it, and he's good friends with Frank. So I'm looking forward to that. Hey, look at that! Talking
Hey.
about
Talk about
class
style,
and classic
dignity.
and the beautiful
Talk about
blazer.
dressing up the show a little bit. I mean, we got Tony Segreto, and now we have another gentleman, the epitome of class, Joe Beja. Wow. Talking about Joe Beja.
Executive Director of Hospitality here at Gulfstream Park, and it's always great to see you. We missed you last week. They actually gave you a week off.
No, I was here and then I got sidetracked,
Oh.
and
I'm so
I
disappointed.
always have to make sure I put this in my calendar. I hate to say it because sometimes the days just go.
I
and-
thought you went to Vegas, that you scored
we
a
thought you
ticket
were in,
somehow through all your
No,
Vegas
no.
connections, and that you were going to
We
be
thought you were in
No.
you're
Maryland
going to be
today.
hanging out with Taylor Swift, chugging beers.
Oh yeah, right.
Didn't happen, huh? All right. Well, it's good to see you again. What's happening?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, we've still been busy. Obviously, we're in between our big stakes races. Where we're doing like 500, 600, 700 people on Saturdays here for
Wow.
buffet, and Sunday brunches are 400 or 500 people. So we're doing great. But next big one will be Fountain of Youth.
Yep.
March 2nd. So
and also another taste of the track.
Our very most popular one, tacos and tequila. So tickets are
Defo,
on
will you
sale.
be here? Can you want to make that
You know
one,
what? The Fountain of Youth happens to be my favorite day of racing during the
Me too.
championship meet here at Gulfstream. And tacos and tequila sounds
Lubie
good.
and Shirley want in. I'm going to be gone that weekend. I was just talking about it. I'm going away for actually a first vacation or getaway in a long time, going to New Orleans.
I saw that post.
Very
Very
I
excited
don't know.
for you.
You have New Orleans experience, right? Or-
Love it. Been about 3-4 times.
Okay, so
Love
I didn't
that
know
city.
if you had any favorites or I mean, I've been there 40, 50 times. I think I know the whole city back in my head, but I always like to try new places. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I haven't
anything.
been kept up with the new places
Okay.
recently in the year or two. I have not. I have my old school ones. You know, I like Central Grocery for the old school
Yep,
muffaletta cold.
is good.
A
Yep.
warm muffaletta, I like Cochon Butcher.
Oh, Cochon is good. Yeah,
Very
they have
good. And the butcher shop next
Cochon
door.
restaurant and the butcher shop next door.
Butcher shop next door does a warm muffaletta that's delicious, and it's only 2 blocks away from the World War II Museum.
Right. And
So you can spend
I'm
a little day
staying
in that
right
area.
near there. My hotel is basically 2 blocks from the museum also. So I'm
Okay.
on Chapatula Street there.
Oh yeah,
700 blocks. So
I'm impressed that you pronounced that correctly.
I'm
That
an
was
old
great.
veteran, New Orleans veteran. I do pronounce some things right. So, but yeah, tacos and tequila. Let's talk about that.
Sure.
Is,
So-
it,
Tickets on sale on our website, www.gulfstreampark.com. It is $85 for VIP. That does get you in 1 hour early, and a lot of the tequilas are bringing some higher marks. The extra añejo or the añejos and so forth that you'd be able to sample during that first hour. And then GA is $60 a ticket, and that will start at 1 o'clock. And of course, the event goes till 4. We'll have a Latin band. This time around, we
When you
usually
say
have a
GA, I
DJ.
can't help but think Gamblers Anonymous.
Yeah, there you go. Right?
I had to think for a second. It's general admission.
general
you're talking about,
admission.
yeah.
General admission. And
Only Defo would think that.
so we're good.
As
We,
soon
I
as
mean,
he said that, I was
we
like,
usually
I know.
sell between
do I
the two of them.
sign?
We sell a little over
I was
300
hoping you
tickets.
wouldn't
So
say anything.
yeah, so you're. I mean, it's usually a popular event. Everybody loves tacos. Most people love tequila. I'm actually getting back into the tequila groove again. I had an incident
yeah,
younger, but I've been sipping more,
could you not?
especially when we were at Taco Craft, our new sponsors, Mark Falsetto, and man, those margaritas they had there were great. I'm now regretting the fact that I'm going to be missing this one because I would
Yeah.
like to start sipping some of the higher
and
end.
great brands. You have
you could always
Cazadores.
rearrange your
and-
trip in those reservations you made.
Well, it's not. It's a little
Yeah.
late for that.
but great brands. Casamigos will be here. Cazadores, Patron, Cantera Negra. I mean, we really got some very top-notch tequilas. There's nothing, no caramel coloring,
No
etc.
caramel color.
No fake ones.
All natural. I mean, no funny stuff going
Yeah.
on here. It's all high quality stuff. So,
Where's Jose Cuervo rank anymore?
Yeah.
Are
Oh,
they
my
out of the
God.
picture? Yeah.
Non-existent, I think.
Oh yeah.
For
Wow.
now, they are. But I mean,
No,
they
I
just-
roomed with Jose Cuervo in college.
you
He
know,
was your roommate.
yeah, that
the
was
third roommate.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny talking about tacos and tequila. Last week, I had a phone call from a friend of mine that works for Bacardi, former colleague, known for many years. He calls me, goes, Beja, I have an amazing opportunity for you. I said, I don't like it already. And he goes, no, it's a trip of a lifetime. And I said, I'm still leery. And he goes, somebody canceled on me for the trip in March to the Patron Hacienda.
There you go.
And there's like, the flight is paid for, airfare, transportation. Because I got to worry. I'm like, how am I getting from the airport to the Hacienda? He goes, oh, we have that covered,
Wow.
transportation covered, 2 nights at the Hacienda. You need to give me a picture of your passport, your shoe size, because we're going to give you boots, put you out in the
Boots.
field. You're going to see how
Boots.
tequila is made, and we can do a
Do you
trip to
have
the
stop
distillery.
on
and-
anything like
I
the
don't
grapes
know. I
and
mean,
the-
it's,
I
yeah,
love
like
Lucy.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But I'm excited. So I'm going March 20th to the 22nd for 2 nights to stay at the Patron
Jeez.
Hacienda, see how
Sweet.
tequila is made. It's one of those trips I've always wanted to do.
That's awesome.
So very, very excited about
I
that.
love that.
And then, of course, he goes, you have to commit to a barrel. I said, okay, here's the trick. Okay, committing to a barrel. How many cases in a barrel?
it's like the timeshare. They make
Yeah,
you sit down
he's
for the
like-
presentation.
yeah.
It's like you got to commit to a barrel.
So he's just like, oh, it's 30 cases. And I'm like, all right. He goes,
How much is it?
what's the price? Am I paying more for the special barrel and the special bottle? He goes, nope, it's the same price you pay for Patron
So
Silver,
this will
for
be
Patron Repo.
featured at 10 Palms in how many years?
Yeah,
So-
yeah, and I'm not sure. That's the turnaround on the barrel and how long, but it'll be our own Gulfstream Park Patron Reposado.
Wow.
Wow.
You
Sold
can't beat that.
exclusively
Special
here.
barrel.
You
Beautiful.
can't beat that.
Yeah.
Can't beat
Wow.
that.
That's awesome.
Can't beat that.
And I'm sure you'll save some in reserve for next year's tacos and
Or,
tequila if it's
or
ready.
some for reserve for us.
No, well, that's
There you
it.
go.
Hey, so tell the people also, I love this breakfast on the backside thing, and that's
Yes.
going on now. How's it been going so
It's been
far?
going great. We usually get anywhere between 50 to 70 people on a Saturday
much?
morning. We start at
Really?
7:30 in the morning, and the buffet runs until 9:30. We start tram tours at 8:30 every half hour, with the last one being at 9:30.
So what do people see? Did they see the horses? Are they still working out, or are
Is
they
it
cooling
mostly
down?
Nope, they're still working out.
Okay.
So if you get here at 7:30, 8 in the morning, you'll see another 2 hours of them working out.
Mostly
Um,
kids.
Most are kids.
Family friendly.
Kids under 5 eat free with the paying adult. You know, I had to hedge it for the people that's, eat off their kids' plates.
Yeah.
So anyway,
There's
Who would do
one,
that?
one in every
Who
crowd.
would do that?
Degenerate would think of something
Who
like
would
that.
do that?
What I want you to do is take a picture of it, send it to Let's Eat anonymously, and I'll post it.
Yeah. but it's great.
Shameless.
We have activities for the kids. We give them a little coloring book, and then we let them paint horseshoes. So they get to paint their own horseshoe. So we keep it entertaining for the kids. It's kids oriented, but it's nice to still.
How do they get tickets for that, or they just show up?
Just show up. Just show up.
Where, in the walking ring? Here?
Actually, on the first floor in the breezeway area it's near the bar, but the bar's closed, obviously.
Right.
But it's right by the Winner's Circle, just
Right.
between the breezeway bar and the Winner's Circle on the first floor. And the tram pickup is on the
We
north
used to do the
side.
shows on the Friday morning.
Well, and beyond that, I would have to say this, that, there are many layers to thoroughbred racing that are fascinating. And the morning workout scene
Take your grandson.
is one of the most majestic things that you could possibly experience.
It is awesome.
And I used to love it. I used to do a lot of video workout here in the mornings and the other tracks around town, and always loved it. And then the big feature, do they still have the track kitchen for the jockeys and trainers? Is that still in existence here?
So there is still a track kitchen that is out in the backside.
And that
in
was
the very
always a
first
pleasure
building.
to be able to poach your way in there, even
Yep.
if you weren't like a jockey or a trainer or
Yep.
one of the horsemen.
Yep,
Yeah.
I get allowed in there. I think they think I'm a former jockey. but there's actually a
Just tell them you're the feet pink
I
eye.
think I'm a
there's a
former
jockey.
horse.
there's a. It's funny. Actually, I'll show you guys a
They think
picture.
he's
one
Buddy
time.
Delp.
I went as a jockey a
John
couple of years
Campbell.
ago as a Halloween joke,
Yeah.
and they put the saddle. They gave me the full silks. First of all, finding a silks that fits a man that's 160 pounds
Yeah.
Maybe a
is a
jockey.
challenge, believe it or not.
Well, you go up to
You
the old
know.
Pompano harness track.
Yeah,
they have that.
harness
Because
track,
those
yeah,
harness
true.
drivers
Right.
are ones.
We
But
did
here
on
was a
Kentucky
challenge.
Oaks Day.
It
We
took a
did
few.
buffalo the security people into thinking that Lubie was Pat Day. we had him covered up with like a coat, and they were about to question, whether he had the ability to get on the backstretch. Pat Day, man. Hey, Pat, you give him a winner, and then we walked right in.
They got me. They've dressed me up and they gave me the saddle, put it on my shoulder. They go, get on the scale. We'll make it look like you're, it's really authentic. I got on the scale with the saddle and everything. The scale, so it was like 170 something pounds.
That's a
And then
good one.
I sent to some people around here, and Aaron Greider is our former famous
Yeah.
jockey. He's our vice president of, relations with the horsemen and stuff like that. And I sent to him, and he goes, "You better start running, you." A couple of words I can't say on air. You fat whatever.
I
but
saw
still, he's
him
just
at
a-
the. Was he up there at the bourbon and
Yes,
barbecue?
yeah, he
event?
likes-
I thought I saw him
he-
for a second. He's very dapper.
Yes,
also.
and he loves what we do with our food and beverage product here on the track. So
Who wouldn't?
all the events.
I
and
was
so
singing
forth,
your
so.
praises. I went to Dune last night. I don't know if you've been in there since.
Yeah.
Dune by Laurent Tarandel, great chef. Him and this new ownership group took it over about 2.5 years ago. The place has been around since 2018. But the new owners invited me in. I had a wonderful time last night. They cooked this branzino dish really nicely, but I was telling them about how it's really hard to find people that cook fish properly, and that you guys here, I told them, if you guys ever come down to the track, go check out 10 Ponds, because whoever is doing your fish, every week we do it, it comes out like perfect, where it's moist on the inside and the skin is crisp, and they keep the skin on, which is what us foodies like.
Yep.
And so those guys, I got them intrigued. So I hopefully we'll get them down here. It's great duo. Ken and of course Scott. Ken and Scott are the co-owners now
Nice.
of Dune. And but you guys, I was singing your fish praises, and again, now that we're in Lent, it is the season to eat the seafood and the fish. And
I
look,
saw
they're all
that.
appropriate.
I
here.
see
Look at
that,
the
yeah.
shrimp.
Yeah.
Even Lubie
That was
is
very appropriate here.
appropriate for Lent, which is
He's
shocking.
doing the Lent thing for his wife.
Yes, nice.
Yeah.
We've got the calamari, which is, I love the little cherry peppers. It's all good. You guys are doing bang up work here.
Thank you.
I guess, what do you got going in terms of anything else after that? We got Florida Derby, obviously, is a big
Florida
day.
Derby, huge. That taste of the track that day is an elevated experience. Pricing will reflect it, but
Yeah.
we are pouring wines from all of California, Napa Valley and Sonoma, a few from Paso Robles and so forth. And we do an event what we call Wine and Derby. So it's a very elevated buffet, carving stations, pasta
Are
stations.
tickets available yet?
I don't think they have gone on sale just yet. I think we're right now just in Taste of the Track, but once
Okay.
they do, I'll let everybody know. And once I get the official menu,
And the Florida Derby date this year is at the 30th
The
of
30th.
March. So we've got
Correct.
2 tastes of the track in March, because you don't have enough to do, Joe
Sure.
Beja. March 2nd, tacos and tequila. March 30th, the elevated Florida Derby wine festival.
Then I'll take a quick breather in April before I start flying up to Baltimore for Preakness.
There you
Oh,
go.
sweet.
And me and you, FSU dads,
I
maybe.
I
If my
saw
daughter
that.
actually enrolls there, I think she will. She definitely is
Yeah.
enamored.
My daughter, had a little bit of transition the first year. She's a little introverted, so believe it or not, I don't know, maybe not my kid. No,
My
I'm kidding.
daughter doesn't.
Well, my kids are not our kids because their first years, both their schools, they're both introverted, and then they just blossomed.
That's what
Yeah.
happens when you get a little dose of
Yeah.
independence.
I-
You find yourself.
I
and-
joined a fraternity right off the bat, and then it was all downhill from there.
You
Yeah.
at that? I can't imagine that at UNLV.
But my daughter joined a dance group, and she's studying fashion up there, and she was accepted this summer to the fashion program to study abroad.
Great.
She'll be in Florence and Milan
Oh,
for
Oh,
6
Sweet.
weeks.
Wow, great city.
You
a life.
can't beat
6
those
weeks.
two for Florence.
Yeah.
For fashion, boy.
That is wonderful.
So I'm excited for her, and I'll be flying her out with her out there in
That's-
June to kind of
that's a
set her
nice
up
trip.
and stuff
You've
like
got
you
that.
staying in the
So.
dorm out there?
Was that?
In a dorm?
Yeah, they have like a building. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
officially a dorm or like an apartment building that they use as a dorm, but yeah, she'll need a roommate. And then the campus building itself, which I've seen online, is
This is beautiful.
very, very
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
It's
and
fantastic.
the
Ever
classrooms
send us
and-
back a couple of leather jackets from that market there?
There you go.
Or a couple of
Good
You're the
deals.
second person
Yeah,
that
yeah.
said
Better
it.
than going to Tijuana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I might have to
no.
pack a suitcase and an empty suitcase.
Yeah,
you know,
some
just to-
prosciutto. Just get some nice aged parm and some prosciutto. Put it in a suitcase. Wrap it
So
up. Don't
prosciutto, leather
Yeah.
jacket,
Yeah.
prosciutto.
There you go.
Louis, what do you want?
tell. Yeah,
We'll give you a bag.
He wants a little statue, a replica of,
Yeah.
some, a
Joe
famous
will give you a
statue.
bag and you take it with you.
we're all good. Hey, always good to see you, Joe B.
Joe
B,
We're
yeah,
going to take
nice
our
job,
last
man.
break. But first, I got to put in the good words for our friends at Batch, New Southern Kitchen and Tap.
Great place.
Lubie was there last Sunday for
Have you been
their
there, Tony?
weekend brunch.
Batch, very
I
nice.
think, put it on your list of things to check out because they have great scratch-made food, Southern classics like shrimp and grits and waffles and fried chicken. And they have the great skillets. They also do that. Lubie had the spiced Cajun shrimp eggs Benedict, and they make a really on-point hollandaise sauce. They're at 525 North Federal Highway. Kevin, Brandon, they'll take great care of you. They have live music tonight, Wednesday through Friday for dinner. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days. They have the weekend brunch with the bottomless drinks. And, they have a great cocktail bar, mixologists, all kinds of great drinks. They do house-infused spirits like their pecan-infused whiskey and bourbon. They make great drinks. They are open 7 days, as I said. And there is free parking in the garage right next door on the side street. Get 4 hours of free parking. So it makes it really easy to get in and out, and you're going to want to check it out. Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, 525 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, coming back. Yes, with more. Joe, always a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you.
Always
Great
a
to see you.
pleasure.
We'll see you next week.
Coming back to
Absolutely.
wrap up our trackside edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox here in a moment.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, about to wrap up another week. I can't believe another week in the books.
Flew by.
Defo, can you give us the Cliff Notes version of where your toes stand?
what is
They
going
are still
on?
on your body, right?
100% okay. Yeah, everything's going to be good. At 3 more days of these stupid treatments, they altered the medication for some reason, even though
And now,
another doctor is telling me that none of this was necessary.
right, that it was gout
Gout.
all along.
All along.
All
That it was
along, yeah.
Barzini all along,
Well,
not a
that
bone
was-
infection.
That was
not-
said to me by more than one person that examined me. But when I went to the hospital, they checked me in as if I had this infection, and they were certain that it was there.
And how many people wanted to make you Tom Dempsey, the next toeless wonder?
At least 3 or 4 doctors
geez.
discussed that
And
with
this
me.
goes back to my thing about, like, when you're sitting at a restaurant and you want to move tables, the
Yeah.
waiter never wants to move you because he's going to lose his.
See, I
his
disagree with
business.
that. Having been a waiter, if somebody was going to move, you would just retain
Yeah,
that
I mean,
table,
you're not going to fight over
even
it.
if they put you
Okay.
in another section.
Oh, you retained. Okay, because
Yeah,
I was saying
yeah.
the surgeon, their inclination is always to
Cut.
lop off toes and cut and perform surgery because
Uh,
that's how they make their money.
Yeah, they love cutting.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what the full story is going to be, but the good news is that
Right now, it looks favorable.
well, no, nothing of any significance ended up happening.
Yeah,
So
thank
that was
God they
good,
didn't
yeah.
do that.
Right,
Jeez.
and you feel good in the toes, like your
You
foot
know what?
doesn't ache.
This guy yesterday who was saying the whole thing was bogus, so showed me what was happening, and actually it made
so
sense.
Gout is
Gout,
inflammation. It's a form of arthritis. That forms
I
when
can't believe it
crystals
got that
form in your
severe, though. I
joints.
mean, that really
I
surprised me.
went to
more
a
than
foot
anything.
doctor
Yeah.
yesterday,
Yeah.
and just to check it out, and it was fine. And then he said, "Well, let me snip your nails," and he cut my nails perfect.
Wait, you went for a pedicure or a
You got like a
doctor's
Oh,
pedicure.
were
appointment?
you?
Doctor
At some
appointment.
Yeah, like
Japanese
that
pedicure
pedicure.
shop?
Doctor appointment. He took
Did you
care
have the
of-
little fish biting your toes also? That's always a good one. Yeah.
That's a little strange,
Yeah.
Tony. But
Say
it's all
goodbye.
good. Hey, no,
Good for him.
I was gonna take one more question. Well, whatever. You know what? Have
Sign
a
off,
great,
Mike,
have
yeah,
a
sign
great
off.
weekend.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's not even 2:00 yet. Let
Yeah.
me give people the full rundown of my current local dining tour.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a band. I was at Dune last night. Curro tonight for Val's friend is having a birthday celebration. Got the it's called Andy's Pasta Dinner on Sunday night at the Signature Grand, which is a charity event that I'm going to be part of, which is actually where I auctioned myself off a
Oh,
lunch
that's
with
where-
me, and it was kind of
That's
the
So that
where you
is
place
got
where
out.
romance.
That's
that
where
is
you got
where
out.
Look
I
at that.
was bought like a piece of meat last year, and but it turned into a fine
You became a piece of meat, literally.
romantic relationship.
Yeah.
But now we said we're going to go to this pasta dinner, the charity
good.
event every year as kind of a
You
Like
should.
an anniversary kind of
Anniversary
thing. Yeah, that's cool.
You
Monday-
have such romantic instincts. You really
I do.
Yeah.
Just a big old softy at
Not
heart.
necessarily something you see on the surface.
And then Monday night, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the
Yes.
Red Meat Lovers Club, the family feast at Runway 84.
Oh, wow.
It's going to help the Peanut Butter and Jelly Project, a local charity, 501c3 that benefits veterans and also
That's a good
kids
one.
Children
in need.
Yeah.
And our friend Mark Falsetto is involved with that charity. And Mark, first time ever, I think they're having like a Monday night. The restaurants usually close, but they're having a buyout, full buyout of the restaurant. Red Meat Lovers Club is going to be
sweet.
throwing this feast, and they're going to have pasta station, carvery, prime meats, open
Parm
bar,
station.
music, and
Parm
Parm
station.
Station, which I'm
Sweet.
just excited about. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Talk about, get the Italian
You're
shoe
like
leather
Forrest
Parmesan.
Gump on this, where
Artichoke parm,
shrimp parm,
Baked
eggplant
potato
parm, chicken
parm,
parm, veal
shrimp
parm,
parm,
papa parm.
Italian focaccia parm. Chicken
You think about
parm.
potato
Yeah,
parm.
Focaccia parm.
I can't wait.
Focaccia parm is
Yeah.
a part. Is
I can't wait to
A
see.
bread with
It's
parm.
a garlic cheese bread. I'm making
Yeah,
stuff
shit.
up, Tony. I'm just trying to imagine how you get to
They
30
said
different
they have
parms.
like tons of different parms. That's what
I
Mark
could
told
think of
us. yeah.
shrimp. I could think of veal, chicken, meatball parm.
meatball
But
parm.
it's going to be a great time. And go online to meatsbowl.com. That's MEATS bowl.com. Get your tickets. They're going fast. And I know you're going to have to wheel me out of there in a
I'm going to say
wheelbarrow.
this: if you go by horse body language, look at this 6-horse in the paddock. I know he's even money.
Okay.
It looks like
Bowed neck.
War Admiral. I
Bowed
mean,
neck.
they got the
War
bowed neck
Admiral.
and looks absolutely on the
War
I
muscle.
didn't even get into Tuesday. Then we've got Sicilian Oven, the next show,
Oh,
a live
beautiful.
show,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
can't wait.
Yeah.
Duck.
Oh,
Thinking
and the
Duck
Duck
House.
House. Yeah, the reopening.
Duck House.
A lot of people anticipating that in the Pompano Beach
Wednesday
area.
batch,
Very
Thursday Delaware Chicken Farm, Friday back here at Gulfstream.
Thursday, Delaware Chicken Farm.
I have no shot of ever losing anything.
No, you're screwed.
No.
No,
You're not in the right business,
every
Mayo, and
freaking day, yeah.
not much restraint. We're gonna
But
have to say.
I did a salad.
You did good today here.
Yeah, but you'll be in New Orleans in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's all over.
That's a sodium
Sodium.
bloodbath. Yeah, it really is.
Sodium bloodbath.
Yeah.
I better get some gout pills.
Exactly.
I'll have to cop
Oh, yeah.
a few from you.
I've had it occur there.
Indomethacin is my friend.
I might need to try some new stuff.
Okay. You'll have to keep me informed of
Yeah.
what's the latest on the gout.
There's
front.
a treatment now that gets rid of it forever. That's what I'm
What is-
supposed to
Oh,
do. Yeah.
wow. Good for
Does
you.
it involve?
It's a couple of IV treatments that
Really?
you do
Well,
in the
now you're the
doctor's
IV
office.
pro. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds wonderful.
That's what I was supposedly heading for before they cut me off
So
at the
you do-
pass. And
like you do the IV treatments, and then you do an IV of champagne, and
You-
right in
you-
the other one.
you still have to follow, the restrictions of, the
gout
diet that's bad
restricted
for it.
diet.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Everybody have a great 3-day weekend. Again, we're going to have
Happy
a
President's
replay
Day.
on President's Day.
Oh,
but,
beautiful.
We'll be
Oh,
back
wow.
Tuesday with a new edition from the new
Sicilian
Oven. I'm
so
Oven in
excited.
Cooper
Sicilian.
City
Yeah.
with our friend Andrew Garavuso. Maybe even
I believe the
Ralph
partner Ralph. Yeah.
DeSalvo might make an appearance as well. We'll find out on Tuesday. Until then, everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe and enjoy every salad and every sandwich.